I've always been a bit of a rebel,
Huh?
even though that has cost me a lot of friendships and relationships.
Wow.
But you know what? I'm the better for it. I'd rather be surrounded by a few close-knit friends that understand me,
Yeah.
care for me,
Oh, yeah.
and are genuine than have a large group of friends that are not sincere and I have to pretend to be other than who I really am to be able to maintain their friendships.
Yeah.
Do you know why people treat you like a doormat? It may be because you have weak personal boundaries. You don't know how to say no. You reward bad behavior or you have low self-esteem. I have dropped the link of the first part of this series in the description below where I talked about the signs that show that you're a doormat. If you haven't watched it, you should. Here are some reasons why you might have problems standing up for yourself and saying no. Your family didn't show you how to set boundaries or limits in relationships. In some cultures, so much is expected from women, and because the woman is expected to be docile and submissive, some in-laws take advantage of this and put the woman in uncomfortable situations where she works to please them with little or no consideration for her comfort. Especially in some African cultures, one of the criteria used to assess the suitability of a wife for marriage is how much she is able to impress her in-laws with the amount of work she does for them. And of course, women need to get married, don't they? So they accept being treated like a doormat. Your self-esteem is low, and you are so eager for people to like you that you let them do whatever they want. You've been in abusive relationships and are no longer sure what is and isn't reasonable in a relationship. You see, when you live too long in negativity, you begin to accept it as a norm. In some religions, some leaders put some expectations on the members that practically turn them into doormats. While growing up, you hung around with friends that were intimidating, and you had to succumb to their desires to be able to fit in. Now, having said all that, we'll discuss 10 ways to not be a doormat. But just before we do that, on this channel, we discuss how to live our best life. So if this type of content is what you enjoy, kindly subscribe and join the family. Like the video and share as well so others can benefit from it. Thanks as you do. Now you can't force people to treat you well, but you can learn how to be assertive. Being assertive means communicating with others in a direct and honest manner without intentionally hurting anyone's feelings. You can be friendly without allowing anyone to take advantage of you. In this way, you are less likely to be treated like a doormat. Here are the personality traits you should work on. Improve your self-respect. Other people are more likely to respect you if you respect yourself. Research has shown that self-respect is positively linked to assertiveness. Set personal boundaries. Personal boundaries are limits and rules we set for ourselves within relationships. They set out what you will and won't tolerate from others. People with strong boundaries are less likely to be used and treated like a doormat. Learn what a good relationship looks like. If you need to educate yourself about this, by all means do. Know what healthy friendships, family relationships, and romantic relationships are like. When you know what is and isn't okay, you will feel more comfortable when setting boundaries. Understand that you don't have to save every relationship. Not every relationship you go into will work out, and that's the truth. Most people don't settle down with the first boyfriend or girlfriend they ever have, and very few friendships last a lifetime. So don't turn yourself into a doormat because you want to keep a relationship going. If someone keeps ignoring your boundaries or mistreating you, ending the relationship might be the best option. It doesn't mean you failed or that you aren't a nice person. It just means that it's time to move on to people who will treat you better. Practice saying no. Even though no is just a 2-letter word, it can carry quite a bit of guilt and pressure because we want to be liked by others. This guilt around saying the word no is often self-directed guilt. Saying no is a skill that allows you to keep your boundaries in place. I'm going to do a video where I'll give practical tips for saying no. Watch out for it. Ask directly for better treatment. Without being rude, learn to stand up for yourself and ask others to change their behavior when they mistreat you. When you need someone to act differently, simply tell them how you feel, why you feel that way, and what you'd like to change. Be clear about consequences. If you've tried asking someone to change their behavior and they continue to overstep your boundaries, it's up to you to decide whether to let go and keep the relationship going as it is. If you decide to give someone a second chance, let them know what you will do the next time they behave badly. But make sure you're ready to follow through. Because if you go back on your word, the other person won't take you seriously again. Work on your body language. Your body language can say much more than words. Assertive body language can make you appear and feel more confident. Whenever you need to set or enforce a boundary, take note of the following. Make eye contact. Stand or sit upright with good posture. Do not fidget and don't make pointing gestures, as this can aggravate the situation. Avoid frowning or grinning. Maintain a sincere expression. Stay a reasonable distance away from the other person. Don't lean in too close or lean out too far. Focus on people's actions, not their words. No matter how convincing they might sound, nice words don't mean anything unless they are accompanied by respectful behavior. And I assure you, emotional predators are very manipulative with words. If someone often does or says things that they later deny, and you feel like you're going crazy, this is a sign of gaslighting, which is emotional abuse. When you notice any mismatch between what someone says and what they do, it's easier to tell when it's time to be firmer with your boundaries. If it's a chronic problem, it may be time to end the relationship. Finally, be ready for pushback. If someone is used to you saying yes or going along with what they want all the time, they may be surprised or annoyed when they start hearing you say no. So you're definitely going to get some resistance when you start setting boundaries in your relationships. Therefore, be prepared, but be consistent, and in time, most people will learn to adapt. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think about the Doormat syndrome, because your feedback means a lot to me. Best wishes from my heart to yours. Bye.